Hello, everybody. Thank you for waiting and bearing with us while we get all of our technical issues sorted out. Welcome to the Early Bird Special. I'm 130,
Spigosaurus.
and we volunteered to recap a division together. This is my first and a half try at it.
This is my very first time, if you don't count being a guest on Sace's stream.
So, yeah, give us, this is REBBL. You don't always have to cut slack, but we'll try to learn fast. So, you are here because you are in REL Division 3B, and you guys come from quite a variety of backgrounds, I must say, and we're going to get into that here. So, let's take a look at, well, all of y'all and see what your opposition's going to look like for the next 13 weeks. Who do we have first on our list? We're going to look at the Boss Hog Outlaws. And Spigosaurus, where are they from?
So, hold up. You lost me. Boss Hog Outlaws. I need to go back to all this Discord stuff. I lost my page.
That's okay. I got it here. Boss Hog Outlaws, coached by Volpez and Colta. And by all means, feel free to help correct me on my pronunciation there. This team came from Division 6, where it placed 10th last season with a record of 4-2-7. So, kind of a decent split between losses and not losses as far as an odd number can be. And so everybody say hi to the resident Chorf team that you're going to have in your division. What do you think of these guys here?
I mean, they look pretty standard. Lots of mighty blow, lots of guard. They have a nice claw palmer, which everyone's sure to love. An agi hobgoblin is pretty nice, but it means he's carrying with a hobgoblin, so it's a little easier to sack than the usual sentinel carrier.
True. But he does have his bulls developed really nicely to not have to deal with the ball and be out and about on the field.
Yeah, they're definitely nice mobile threats.
Yeah, I like the amount of guard that this team has. The guard on the bulls feels a little like it's the only small thing that I question because it feels like it makes them less mobile because if you need them someplace else, a lot of the times you want to get your TV value out of the guard, so they're going to be marking someone. If you couldn't knock them down or don't have time to take that block anymore, you might be burning that break tackle on the first dodge, and if the screen's halfway decent, it could be a problem. So long as he can avoid them getting tied down, they should be filling the gaps really nicely that some of these chorfs are leaving. Like especially these two mighty blow ones down the middle of the pack here that still need to up their game and get some guard going.
Yeah, they're pretty far from it, but hopefully they get a few Kaz. As far as the Bulls, I like the guard on the block because he's gonna stay on his feet and dodge makes break tackle better. The tackle one, I really wish would have got like a mighty blow or something as like a mobile like threat to hunt down squishies if it needs.
He could still hunt down the squishies. You don't necessarily need to threaten a Kaz with every sack.
Yeah, but it's nice. And like if he's gonna be hunting squishies, then he doesn't need guard because that means he's not gonna be tied.
Fair. This is a 3-season-old team. I kind of wonder if the guard came into play as more of like a reaction to the schedule and maybe potential losses or firings, retirements.
Yeah, sometimes you just need guard and you have to take it where you can get it. Like his strength chore to guard late, and then he has two mighty blow that who knows how long if you had that mighty blow waiting for one of those to get guard. So
yeah, it's gonna be a well, I don't know. Can you ever call a Chorf team a fun team to watch?
they're fun if you're not on the receiving end. But that's about it.
Mm, You're breaking up a little bit worse there now, but we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, we might need to restart Discord.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like I keep getting like spikes. Like my connection was just yellow, but now it's green. I think Discord just hates me. So.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's move away from these chorfs and go look at something a little more scaly. Let's go take a look at Cold Blooded.
Cold
Second
blood.
page. They're gonna be coached by Burke, and they were a fresh team last season in Div 10G, and he took second place with a record of 7-3-1.
That's pretty good. His team is definitely lacking some development. A little annoying that he has his players scattered about, but he has 2 Saurus with nothing. I mean, he has 3 Block Saurus. Right. Does he only have 1, 2, 3, 4?
They're scattered in there. There's 6.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Right,
Yeah,
so
that's definitely going to hurt his chances of winning unless he can really organize this roster.
yeah, that's definitely some minus points there.
But yeah, I do agree. Only 4 out of the 6 are having block is. It's a little bit of a shame, but for first season, I can kind of understand it. What. Okay, first, let me just say I love the development or the building of the 1 turn skink, or, the 1.5 turn, or almost 1 turn. But
Yeah, definitely like the sprint after the movement, because I mean, what else are you gonna take? You only get agi access.
yeah,
I think I might have took sure feet over the sidestep. Like 1 push is pretty easy to get without sidestep.
Yeah, I guess that'll depend a little bit on coaching level, but it'll also save you, what, 1 whole dice roll? If you do it with the sidestep to get a single push. So, I can kind of get behind that. The break tackle on. Can you. These are all stock names too, aren't they?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
I don't really know legit stock names, but
Yeah,
they
so
definitely.
on Boxy here, I know it's good to keep him a mobile threat, but I don't know. I kind of would have liked to see some tackle early on to help out, because keeping one Saurus back as a safety and keeping them from getting marked isn't too hard of a task.
I mean, just based on that short team, I think he's gonna be wishing that was a guard. Honestly, like he's
Yeah,
most of
this.
the other batch teams are gonna have enough guard at this point to definitely not care about the strength 4 as much as you would in the first season teams.
Yeah, the Bloxagor is a real godsend right now, but as the only guard, it just kind of makes him a bigger target, I suppose.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So he's gonna have a lot of work to do, this Burke, to get through this season, or at least to put up a lot of points in this season. So I look forward to seeing how he does this. Yeah. See here. Oh, let's go take a look now at the next team, which is going to be Forsaken Awoken. This is a Necro team that was in Div 8 with me last season, and he finished in 3rd place with a record of 8-3-2. And he probably could have pumped that up a little bit more, but he was saving 400k in the bank so that he could upgrade his stadium to level 4.
That's some commitment right there.
Mm-hmm.
I see he has the obligatory stat up werewolf. He doesn't have a palm wolf though, which he should be getting one soon based on the way REBBL works.
Yeah, no doubles on either wolf there is really surprising. I don't know if he's shopping at the right, at the right pet supply store.
He's making up for it with a palm white. I like the Juggernaut pickup on that.
Oh yeah.
Strength Ghoul is nice. It sucks that it's also move busted. Like you'd want to carry on a Strength Ghoul. I'm curious to see when he got that movement bus, because then I might have made him like a Rackler instead, and just used him as like a lone sacker with the strength up.
A Rackler with a move bust. So you want him to move only 3 instead of 4 most turns?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be Rackling every turn. Like you would keep him like semi back to stop
Mm,
potatoes.
that's fair, but Strength 4 Blodge is still nothing to scoff at. I do agree that he is kind of the obvious carry target, though. What, then when he's ready to score, hand off to the Agi Wolf or maybe the other ghoul?
Oh yeah, I'm curious. I mean, you've played him. Does he carry with the wolf or does he carry with the?
Man, I'm trying to remember, but I don't do so well like that. It's even worse than most people's quick maths. But, I do believe that the Strength Ghoul was playing Cage Corner a lot more than, carrying. But also, what his number 8, his rookie ghoul here, is as fresh as it can be. So he might have had something else that he was using as his main carrier at the time.
Yeah, that,
I do really really enjoy the distribution of guard on here. It's gonna be great when the second flesh golem finally manages to pick it up too. But with the mighty blow, what 7 8 SPP? That's not too out of reach.
four Kazes. And I mean, if he gets close, he can always try to give it a touchdown. Edgy 2 isn't the worst to hand off to.
Ah, just Black Orc tactics. Yeah, this. Go ahead.
We both cut our teeth on lizards, so we had to deal with Edgy 1 handoff.
Hmm. Yeah, that's fair enough. But I don't. No, no, that's fair enough. Point to you. As much as I want to say I didn't do it very often, all the times I did surely made up for it.
He has a beer stand, which is interesting, which means he wants to go for serfs. Um, I don't know how I feel about a beer stand on Necro, because like sure you have frenzy, so serfs are good, but it's like one of those catch-22s. Like once you have a beer stand, people know you want to go for serfs, so then you don't play as close to the sidelines, but then you're essentially funneling them to the middle. But
So it puts a lot of the work on his Franks.
yeah,
But no, well, but here's the other thing. So Necro also have this really big speed disparity between their positionals, and the more pieces he can surf and get off the pitch, it's just easy removals that he can now open up a lot more movement opportunities for.
yeah, but so like I think you would theoretically get more serfs without the beer stand because people like cognitive of the fact that they need to stay away from the sideline.
Yeah, so it's really just a question of if he can bring the pressure. Because if he can funnel them towards the side regardless, then
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
it'll still be fun. But yeah, he's one that I've got my eye on this season. He was a damn good game to play in season 10, and I'm looking forward to see how he does this one.
Yeah, and he did well last season, and like you said, at the end of the season, he was carrying a lot of bloat and cash, so he probably could have done better.
Yeah, I can't recall how high up he was in the standings and if I actually got to play spoiler or not versus him. And you just reminded me that I didn't go over the stadiums previously. The Chorf team, Boss Hog Outlaws, had the security gate, anti-bribe, anti-rock stadium,
And the
which and
Lizards didn't have anything.
not lizards are naked, but one season old. I can understand why they might not have had money to.
Oh yeah, Lizards have a lot to buy when they first start out. They need another reroll, and then like if they lose any sores, which he might have, that might be the reason why he has two rookies. I didn't check how many games those guys had played, but if you have to replace the sores, they're pretty expensive. So.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Let's move on now to the next team in our list, and I think you're really going to enjoy this one.
Yeah, I think this is the team a lot of people have their eye on in the division, mostly because of the coach. I mean, vampires aren't a very common race, but Lumi is definitely a name everyone knows.
Yep, from REL 1 fame, coaching the pastry pests for. They weren't an OG like season 1 or 2 team, were they?
I think they were season 2, but I'm not sure. That's like way before my time.
Yeah.
I know he was one of the like oldest teams before he re-rolled.
Yeah. So last season he was in what division was that? In Div 10C, and hey, is that the same record as same record as the Lizards had in theirs, 7-3-1. Did really well in
Oh,
his season. Has had got into the play-ins, though I don't think he didn't get a ticket into the playoffs this season, though, did he?
no, I think he dropped round one of play-ins, and he just confirmed that he was a season 1 team. So he's been around for a long time.
Yeah, this just proves that my chat box in Streamlabs OBS doesn't work at all.
Yeah, people have been talking a lot of shit talk between Sace and other people because Sace
Because
likes to shit talk.
yeah, because Sace. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull this up on my phone. Cool. So tell me a little bit about what you see here in the Vamps.
Uh, I mean, it's you're pretty typical. A lot of blodge. He has a movement 7, strength 5 vamp, which is pretty scary. Uh, the movement's nice. The one thing, like I mean, making it faster. He still has to keep up with thralls a lot of the time because of bloodlust. So, but it does help on important plays. He can get a little further. I don't know much about vamps. I do know they are a nightmare to defend against because of hypnotic gaze.
Yeah, I keep looking at Thralls and like you see his bench and it's absolutely massive. But on average, how many Thralls are going to show up to the next game? And I'm not sure if he's here now, if that's been a problem keeping a deep enough bench for his seasons. Also, thanks, Sace. I've got my web browser closed right now, so I don't have my Twitch tab open. So not sure about that. Although this is a fairly recent reinstall of Streamlabs, and it pulled my profile information and all my stream key and all that. Jespersaurus making a point. AV7 on the thralls does make them claw-proof, though not a lot of claw that we've seen with our own eyes yet.
Yeah, I think we've seen one claw so far.
Only one. Well, okay, three, because we gotta count the puppers.
Yeah, true.
Oh. Lumi is here. Bench hasn't been a huge problem. He likes at least 14 players, and he's found that to be a good number given Bloodlust. Yeah, especially when you worked up to the 5th Vamp now, too. So, Lumi's been a top-notch coach for as long as I can remember, and I still watch his streams to try and just learn more about the game and suck less myself. So, this is one of those teams that I'm watching because of the coach. The fact that they're vampires is just seasoning, just to spice it up a little.
Well, he has to prove that he can do what Ramna Boy did and make a deep playoff run. I don't know if this is the season for that, but I think that's his plan. Get to Div 1 and do some work.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be a fun path to follow. And so far, no stadium for this team, but I think he's had plenty of money invested into the roster, so I really don't blame him there.
Lumi, just out of curiosity, are you planning on firing the Edgy 2 Thrall, or is he just permanent line duty? Taco. Kick block.
He does like keeping that kicker safe.
5 MVPs is a lot of free SPP for that.
Well, and yeah, not a whole lot of permanent attrition here, so kudos to him. Good luck with your run this season. I hope it's going to be a fun one.
Who is next?
We are going to go take a look at Hornstars 2018. And yes, I had to take a refresher that M was 1000 in Roman numerals. So, we've got ourselves a Control Chaos team.
Here's all our claw.
Like I said, Control. So that's, Jesus, that brings the claw count to 8 in the div so far?
Yeah, a lot. These claw are all packing Mighty Blow.
And guard, for the most part.
One thing I'm curious about on this team is when this Agi happened compared to this ball carrier. Because I would think you'd want to make the Agi guy the ball carrier, or at least a secondary ball carrier.
Maybe. I don't know. I could see the sure hands happening pretty early on. But where's this team from again? They came down. Okay, so they came to us from Div 7. They took 9th place last season. And they're only 2 seasons old. Oh, I didn't write down their record. Sorry about that.
He says he needed a tackle guy, and then his original ball carrier died.
Ooh. Well, you got a nice replacement here, and I suppose if you want to turn this semi-sacker, semi-receiver, Rocky Balboner, you
can always
do the passing game.
you can always try to go for Sage's old pet piece and go very long legs and pray for a double.
Ugh.
Get the 2+ leap sack.
The project player. So what else we got here? We got a 5th Chaos Warrior with guard, missing the claw though, so it doesn't quite fit in with his swole brethren. 2 killers of each of various states of being, in case one goes down. I mean, you've got everything you need, excuse me, to hurt people. So, is it Mighty Mo? Is that how you say or pronounce your coach name? How's how have your games gone when you don't get the Kaz? Because that's going to be the real question here. If the Mighty Blow and the Claw don't fire, Mighty Mo works for me.
In his 2 seasons, he has 10 kills, 81 Kaz, 389 injuries so far.
Oh, on the team?
Yeah, on the team.
Yeah, this is gonna be a potentially bloody team to follow. Also, is Great Brown Cloud a market purchase?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask too, because a legend in 2 seasons seems pretty crazy.
Said
I mean,
last.
it doesn't fit the name scheme, so I assume it is.
That and the legend status. But yeah, Mighty Mosa's last season. Oh, that was Stubing's player. Cool. And Scootin is also Scootin Tootin 2. Ah, the strength 4 guard.
Those are some nice pickups for sure.
They are. Beauty. Cool. Well, good luck to you, Mighty Mo.
Sace move busted him, so he's gonna come try to finish him off this season.
There we go. Never a man to let things go unfinished. Sounds like a dwarf. Let's move along to Lizards Anonymous. Coached by Urban Deer. What we have here is another 2 season old team. Came from Div 9, and they took second place there with a record of 7-6-0. So a lossless second season, which is nice as a former Lizard coach, I must say. Kudos to you,
Yeah,
my friend.
he has a great development so far.
Yeah, the only shame is I'm assuming the recently deceased Croxagore.
Yeah, and most of the development is excuse me, on skinks.
Yeah, it is.
A few of those skinks are very scary. Agi 5 skink goes wherever it pleases.
Yeah, and he's got a nice beginnings to his own one-turner down there too. I'm sidestep before sprint. It's interesting, but it just
I
feels like
guess.
we've got too many skinks here.
Yeah, I think personally, I would have cycled Hans. Like he's 140k with no double. Skinks are easy enough to level.
Cycle him at the jump up.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 140 there. Because those Sorai, you have one with tackle, one with mighty blow, and that's not the same one. I just don't think the Sorai are punching at a 1940 TV strength to make up for all these skinks.
Yeah, I think I would just straight fire the 140. That what does that bring you down to? 1700.
1800.
Yeah, all right. I can't count. Sorry.
That's okay.
Um,
I'm here. I hear Rel has a problem with that.
but yeah, so that gets you down to like a more manageable TV. It you still have two skinks you can try to level to get something nice like another blotch skank, or maybe the next one would get wrestle probably.
I wouldn't mind to wrestle as a fire and forget cage diving skink.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go for the desperate 3+ cage dive to triple red dice.
So we're definitely going to have to try and catch a game or two of his, because I want to see just how much man or meme Hans really is.
So this is probably the greedy in me, but with an Agi 5 skank, I really wish he had a wizard stadium. But that's probably just my pro elf side talking, because that Agi 5 skank has no trouble getting to a ball that is knocked loose by a wizard and picking it up and getting it away.
Yeah, it is kind of cheating without tackle involved. So instead of the Wizard Stadium, opted to go for Security Gate, which, for those of you playing along at home, here's a little bit of spoiler. There's a lot of Security Gate teams in this division. It's almost like y'all like your pixels.
Well, like Jasper, like he if he's not on offense or on defense, he doesn't need the edges. I don't know. Like I think if you're just wasting a wizard on nothing, like I still think he has the upper hand. But it is a fair point that he's probably going to eat a spite wizard if he had a wizard stadium.
Yeah, if that's definitely high elf territory as far as hatred goes by just about anyone. Hmm. Yeah, especially if he can rebuild that Crocs, and even I'd be happy with just guard as a first skill. That keeps him at least more in the fight against, well, so, against most of the other teams that we've seen so far. What, we got the Necro and the Chaos that have been stacking more guard.
Yeah, I'd like to see him try to level the dodge swords. I have experience with dodge swords first, and they are not fun to level.
I never went down that trap, but that's mostly because of lack of opportunity. But dodge source level, and then Wingus Jr. is just 2 SPP away. Sick him after an AV7 target for a couple turns, see what happens. Or hell, give him the ball and see what happens.
I'd be curious to see if he picks up another guard and leaves it to just the one, mighty blow for now as his killer.
I can safely say that I'm on the results column in the case study that say lizards that stack more mighty blow than guard don't tend to do well in the long term?
Yeah, I think guard's going to be a very important skill in this division so far, based on what we.
Yeah, until the vamps decide your tackle zone doesn't matter. But
True enough.
but for now, it's a beautiful lizard team, little heavy on the skinks, but with a record like that, you've got to give him at least some benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's in a position to do okay at least.
I wholeheartedly agree, though I will be more specific with that agreement towards the end of the show. For now, let's go peek in on Callisti Maya's team, but let's wait 4 minutes first. I'm kidding, man. We'll go in right now. For you, Fast Pass. So, for those of you not familiar with Callisti Maya, he and the Lords of Decay came to us from Division 2 last season, where I guess things got a little rough. Hit took 11th place with a record of 3, 4, and 6. This team is 5 seasons old. That's probably a lot of dead Skaven. And as we can see, he's already got 2 storm vermin that he's still feeding to try and grow back up into their killer glory.
I mean, this is a perfect example of a survival of the fittest. Like the pieces he have all look amazing. He has 2 claw mighty blow. He has a vampire of his own. He has a natural 1-turner.
Mm-hmm. And he's got the perfect, I would say, a better Wonder Twin pairing than Shadora and Stake Mittens. He's got a Cage Diver Sacker with a Slinky Shadowstorm, and then he's got his Retrieval ready with Ikit Warp Skitter.
Yeah, I have high hopes for this team. I think it has all the tools it needs. I mean, it's lacking guard, but do Skaven really need guard? Like, you want to play a lot of hit and run style anyway.
Yeah, I mean, guard never hurts, but yeah, and for Skaven, 13 player bench, 1850 TV. This TV's not too bad, Volps.
Yeah, I mean, it'll get trimmed enough once these line rats start getting hit, especially this niggled one. Is that a niggle? Yeah, he has a niggled line rat, so that's pretty much a corpse already.
Yeah, actually, why have you kept Creel around with the niggle? Or is it just that one SPP away of potential?
It might just be a case of it was like niggled before his last game, and then like so he didn't have a reason to fire it because it doesn't count towards anything anyway, and then he just hasn't fired it since.
Giving laziness as an excuse? That's fair. But, or apparently,
He's going with the Gary friendly approach, just have an immortal line rat that everyone tries to kill.
That's fine. Just keep your immortal line rat at 50k. Gary friendly eats up what 200 on or like 150 or 200 on his own.
Yeah, Gary friendly's a whole different story.
Yeah, but no, this is a fun-looking team, and Callisti found a way to answer the question, or at least I suppose his version to the question of, do Skaven need a thrower on their team? And hold on, sidebar. Volpez, we'll talk badly about him all we want. We're in Gary's division this season. We're gonna try and kill him.
Yeah, this is my second time being in a div with Gary friendly, and I plan to punch him a lot.
Yeah, 150-ish, Listy says. But so yeah, Callisti deciding to answer the debate with, of course you need a thrower, especially if you can get Agi and strength on him.
Callisti has actually told me that he regrets taking the strength, that he thinks it would be a better piece without it, because the strength is just...
Well, I assume he took the tackle only because he had the strength and he wanted to make it like a backup defensive piece too?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But hmm.
Like if you don't have strength there, what do you take besides tackle at that level up? What would those two skills be if you didn't have the strength?
Honestly, I kind of like him as he is, but I like you know, a little bit of over utilitarianism in general, which is a problem of mine. Though, if he didn't have the strength, it would probably be because we already have the guy, and we have Agi. I don't know, man. I know Fend would be one of them, like Fend instead of the tackle, but I don't know what I'd take in place of the strength.
I might go accurate. He gets a pretty good passing piece to gutter runners, 2+ catches.
That's true. I wanted to say it, but part of it didn't feel right, which is probably me answering I'd rather play Skaven with just gutter runners. But I do kind of like how he turned out. Yes, yes, he is a cast magnet, but that's more the armor as opposed to the strength, I suppose. But I do enjoy that he's good in both drives, offense and defense, or at least useful for one than the other, especially if you start going low on numbers. And did he have Stadium as well? He does. He has the Squig Sandwich Kiosk, which is, oh, was I getting the security gate wrong? Yeah, the Sandwich Kiosk blocks the throw a rock and get the ref events. Womp
Yep.
womp. I am proven false.
Just good. You would hate to lose one of your amazing gutters to a rock, and you're gonna foul regardless if you get a free bribe or not. So stopping your opponent from getting a free bribe is always nice.
It's true, it's true. Is So there goes yet another one of our kind of celebrities in here. Let's move along to the first Dark Elf team in the division, which is going to be Nightmare on Elf Street, coached by Sunhawk. Now, this team's been around the block.
I feel like I've played this team before.
Yeah, their first season was 6. And it looks like has he played? Yeah, he's played 4. He's 4 seasons old since then, so I believe he's played in 9 and 10 as well. So 4 season old Dark Elf team came to us from REL Div 4, where something happened. Oh wait, Rabbi's Div 4, right? Oh, which would only be part of the problem because the record's 1, 3, and 9.
I mean, his team looks pretty healthy. Like it doesn't look like it got a Robbie. He has
Well,
3 Agia.
yeah, which is
He's
beautiful and
looking
intoxicating, I have to say.
he's looking like a Kislev team out with all the 2+ leaps he has.
There's a lot of leap in there, a lot of bullshit, but at the same time, a lot of 1 in 6s. Yeah, I have to say, Gregor Clegane is what my eye gravitates to the most. With I know they say, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's players, but come on.
Yeah, he's definitely a huge threat to any cages. Um, block over wrestle makes it a little worse because ball carriers usually have block, but maybe get him strip next or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of too. Though strip just feels weird for a legend skill, but what else is really left? The other 2 blitzers and both witch elves are kind of in states of being rebuilt right now, so this doesn't feel like a terrible place to wind up. We got a mix of something old, something new. Let's see if he gets the breathing room he needs to really get some of the SPP where it has to go. But that witch getting mighty blow early. That's gonna be fun. It could also be apple pies, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Frenzy No block is always scary.
Yeah, but probably a big touchdown or a big receiver magnet. I imagine she is these days. Get her to block fast. Yep,
Yeah, as
yep.
long as you can avoid hogging the SVP on these Agi 5 guys. I just realized one of the Agi 5 leapers is a lineman. It's not even a blitz.
Not only that, it's the Edgy 5 retrieval piece.
Yeah, but it's
And
only movement, one less movement, so it's not too bad.
yeah, and he had to pay for block. Whoops. But overall, I can't knock plus edgy linos doing things. What with my team composition, so I applaud him
My
keeping him alive this long.
my Agi Lino's useless, and I expect him to die at any moment.
Ah, the difference between high and pro elves, everyone. But yeah, it does seem funny to me. In his 4 seasons, he's either had no interest or no money to buy even a stadium upgrade to level 2, let alone get an enhancement. So very much going vanilla with what we've got here.
Yeah, elves are expensive. You know, you lose pieces every few games, and it's kind of hard to save up the money for that stuff.
Yeah, when
And
the
it's hard to justify dropping 150, 200k on stadium stuff when at any given turn you might have to spend 150 to replace a piece. Spend
yeah,
100k.
it's even hard. It's hard to justify the money bags move.
Yeah.
So, who do we have next? Ooh, we're gonna go take a look at some greenskins. This one is Orksploitation Cinema, coached by Das Schuttenheim. And they are coming to us also from REL 6, where they took 11th place last season with a record of 4, 1, and 8. They're 3 seasons old, and they are also big fans of the Squig Sandwich Kiosk.
This team is disgusting, and it has an agi orc thrower because every person in REBBL gets one of those.
It's you set your calendar by it, just like Wolves getting stats and doubles.
He has a build your own troll.
Yeah, I noticed that. Build your own ball hungry troll.
Yeah, strength 5 break tackles are pretty good for breaking into cages.
I am a huge fan. I mean, hell, if he rolls doubles, get dodge, and now you've got your 4+ with a reroll. He's got some really nice kill developed with Jesse and Clint. And especially with Jesse kind of pulling double duty with, I guess, occasional surf duty.
Uh, I don't know how I feel about frenzy on the Palmer, just because frenzy is easy to get yourself like pulled out of position, and then if you're palming after that, you're more likely to get stomped on.
That's fair, I'll grant you that. And I'm gonna kind of assume that that movement bust could be related to that. But also, let's count the amount of guard that he has surviving on this team. That looks like 6 to my eye. That's a
Yeah,
lot of that's a lot of coverage to give yourself to try and find a good frenzy direction. But so Michael Chorkless, the block diving tackle black orc. Why?
uh,
Shooty, why? I mean, I get that people want to get away from him. Was guard just too blasé?
yeah, diving tackle. I mean, if it wasn't a black orc, I wouldn't mind. But he gets to stand up and move one space. I mean, ideally, if he jumps on the ground, it's a turnover. So like, you don't care. Like, you just stand up and remark the guy that you knocked over.
He got it to help counter elves. Yeah, and dodges, meh, I agree. Has this been a very long 27 SPP in the building to try and finally get him to level 4? And it's a shame that we don't get to know what the level is on the thrower yet. Oh, he scored 3 touchdowns in the OI. Nicely done. Yeah, I can't wait
Guard,
for him to see guard.
I would consider stand firm. So you don't want your diving tackle to just get blitzed off, but more guard never hurts.
Yeah, especially if just to keep him around in the rare case that you do take some perms or MNGs for the next. But yeah, this is a really nice looking orc team, and sitting at a fat 20-30. I'll be surprised if they have a lot of troubles in this division. But there's a lot of big names in here too.
Uh, are you willing to tell us what the thrower rolled? Is it normals, doubles, stats? Or are you trying to keep it a secret for now?
Are we
I'd
talking
probably
about
spite
Demi
wizard that
Mork?
thrower.
Was it the thrower
Yeah,
that got spite wizarded? Normals.
it is a thrower. He could always go that accurate that I talked about before. he could try to trim some TV and take leader and drop a re. I mean, what does it save him? 40K.
Yeah. Go accurate for super duper throws.
Orc throwers don't have access to strength skills, do they?
No, not naturally. Plus, we can click on them and find out.
I could. That is true.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if he managed to get strong arm and accurate, he could 2+ long bomb, which is always.
Apparently,
Believe me, Shooty. Once you go to 2+ long passes, you never want to go back. I guess it's a little different when your receivers catch on 3s and not 2s, but it is fun.
3+ bombs are fun. Cool. So yeah, Shooty's got a hell of a beefy team, and keeping his line orcs really nice and lean. And or I don't know, do they suffer much attrition, or do you actually have to cycle these guys to keep them this low? But while I wait for that answer, I think we can start to move along. Unless you had anything else you wanted to say. They die a
Oh,
lot.
this team looks great. Honestly, that guard lineman is only 1 SPP from its next level.
Yep.
So a nice
I'm assuming
a
block at
vanity
long
pass with
last.
that. Yeah, probably block. I don't see what else you would get. Even if you got a double, I think you would skip it. I'd rather have the block over the dodge.
Yep. Maybe get some DP on Jan Michael Vinsork. Hmm. It's a lovely, lovely orc team. Maybe one day I'll have my own. Okay, let's dial things back a bit, and by things I mean scale. We're gonna
Lowest TBT
turn
in the
that
division.
dial all the way down to stunty, and we're gonna look at some flings. Welcome to Red Runt Rage, and their coach is Scambammer. They came out of Div 9 last season, so this is a 2-season-old team, and they took 9th place. But it looks like I neglected to write down what their final results were. Yeah, so who do we have in here? The ever famous, and I do love the name, Tree Course Meal.
That's from Herringsor's team, isn't it?
Was that from his old fling team? That's nice.
I mean, it doesn't fit the name scheme.
That's fair. I don't look at the names nearly as quickly as I do everything else. But, and a plus movement tree with some optional break tackle.
Yeah, having a tree that can stand up reliably is great.
He's starting to build himself some Pro Elf Blitzers down at the bottom there. Get some DT sidestep going.
Clarkstar has a good point. Scambammer does lose points for having his roster willy nilly everywhere.
Hmm. I wonder, is there some sort of organization that's based off of like a meritocracy in here? Or like a priority, like the 5 out of 6 fling is especially important to get some SPP on.
I mean, but there's a 5 out of 6 fling in the second group, and there's a
Yeah,
0 out of 6 fling in the top group.
but nobody likes bad beat stew, so yeah. But yeah, a little chaotic. Needs a little spring cleaning, and it is the season. And definitely likes to grab the extra rerolls during kickoff events with that cheerleader and coaching assistant. Really tightening the screws on when the chef has a good roll.
The chat has a good point. The other tree has a jump up, which I totally missed, so he can also get up reliably.
Yes,
So these trees never have to worry about standing up.
it's kind of a thing of beauty. That, and for his one turns, not only does he have his designated cannonball, but he's also got his kickoff receiver all set to go with Steam and Meech. On top of that, I don't know if I've seen. That's just DT across the board on any other standard fling that he's got. That just sounds really annoying so long as it doesn't die on the first hit.
Yeah, I mean, there's not when you're playing stunties. There's really not much else to get on your stunty pieces. So it's usually DT or sidestep, and DT is a lot more annoying than sidestep to begin with. I think. Well, maybe not, but
This feels like a.
depending on how elfy his divs were, I
Yeah,
think DT will come in handy this div.
has a surprising amount of longevity in these flings. Bravo. Yeah, but this ought to be fun, and as you might expect, they're running Nuffle's Altar. Because, of course,
Because what's better than 2 trees?
a
3.
cheaper third tree. Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun. Alright, let's keep on trucking, and also let's laugh about that old goal of keeping this to an hour.
Yeah. I don't even know what time we started because of our technical difficulties.
Oh, that's fair. But moving right along, let's go take a look at our next Dark Elf team in this div, Salty Chips, coached by Angry.
So this has just as much agi up. Just happens that 2 of them are on the same player.
Mm-hmm. Now, this one is kind of fun. So, last season, Salty Chips were in REL Div 7, and they came in 6th place with 6-2-5 as their overall record. It's a 3-season old team, but last season was their first time playing in REBBL. This team went through college and minors before graduating. So, we've got ourselves a REBRL graduate with a nice little Dark Elf team going here. Strength 4 Witch seems like the dream. I'm kind of surprised that she got sidestep before tackle, though.
I guess he values surfing with her a lot, which I mean I would think you would want the movement one, but the movement already has wrestle. But sidestep is good to stop yourself from getting counter surf. And you know what they say? Frenzy is the ghetto man's tackle. The poor man's tackle. The ghetto
so,
tackle.
so it'll do for now. Eh, she's only eaten 54 blocks to the 216 that she's thrown. So it doesn't sound like she's been targeted a vast amount to justify it as like a purely like defensive reaction to pick up that skill. SS syncs with Frenzy so well to get her back out once she does get hit. It'll be interesting to watch.
Well, one thing that's interesting is he is missing a blitzer. He only has 3 right now.
Yeah. And one
And
of
he can't
them's
even get one
new
until
too.
he can't even get another blitzer until after his next game if he rolls a 3 on his winning.
Oh, thank you, Volps. I did kind of forget about that. It is nice to have after the surf. Yeah, I kind of get the impression that, like the average elf team, he's gone through a fair bit of roster turnover involuntarily.
He lost a witch and a blitzer last OI game, and he chose to save the witch.
Oh, fair. Was the blitzer anything special? Does he have a club? Nah. And in 3 seasons, also no budget to upgrade the stadium. A blodge tackle blitzer. Yeah, that's a nice utility piece.
Yeah, I mean he has the frenzy, and he has a tackle mighty blow. So I mean it's annoying. It's not a huge hit. Blodge is easy enough to get back on a blitzer. It's only 2 touchdowns. He'll have Blodge next game probably on chip number 2 with an easy touchdown.
Yep. But yeah, a couple pieces here looking to get their first couple skills, and he's already looking at 2 or 3 potential level ups or easy level ups next game. This'll be fun.
Just out of curiosity, is crunchy chip number 7 just a normal, or you got a double? If it's a normal, I might get kick. Kick is always nice on a elf team. Boxcars.
Ooh.
I think you just have to take that, right? Like you can't turn down boxcars.
I don't know, dude. He's already got his strength up, but you know what he doesn't have? Guard.
That is true, but strength up is like a guard for yourself. You know, it's selfish guard.
Yeah. But with strength up, you're gonna be throwing the 1 in 9s. And I don't know, he might need those rerolls elsewhere. But yeah, Angry, I would probably go guard in your situation myself as well. But you
That's
don't.
probably the safer play. Strength up is definitely the greedy play.
Yeah. Don't be Callisti. Don't have regrets. Sorry, buddy. Lol. All right. Fun times with the salty chips. Okay, who do we got next here? Oh, no. Fun times are over. We got dwarves. We have Stump Force, coached by PDX Bosco. Bosco here came out of Div 7 as well. Only he took 4th place with a run of 6-5-2. This is a 2-season-old dwarf team, and his club is the referee rest area because you can never have too many bribes when you are rocking out with your roller out.
Yeah, you said no more fun, but he has the most fun piece a dwarf team can have.
And he's only 3 SPP away from leveling. What do you give this guy next?
Yeah, like I don't even know what you could give it next. It just has strength and normals. No, it doesn't have normals. It just has strength access, right? It already has Juggernaut. It has Mighty Blow, Break Tackle, Stand Firm.
So I'm hearing piling on because he also has Thick Skull somewhere, right?
I don't even know there's too many skills on this piece. No.
Wait.
You can get a Thick Skull.
I'm not seeing it. Huh.
No, it doesn't. If you could.
Doesn't start with Thick Skull. I didn't know there was such a dwarf.
Block. Yeah, Jasper.
Good
I forgot
call.
all about multi-block. Multi-block and strength 7 is
Yeah.
pretty.
along with Jesus, another 6 guard to back it up. I like it. Yeah, that could be fun. So, what do we
The
got for the
question is there enough fast teams in the div? Like we've seen what rats, two dark elves, lizards are pretty fast. Like how long is going to be the actual expectancy of this death roller on the pitch?
one entire dwarf offense? So, 8 turns.
I mean, a lot of those teams we saw have pretty good potential to steal, especially from a dwarf team. They're slow.
That's true. So, how's he going to keep that ball? What's he got to work with? Well, he's definitely protecting his top thrower pretty well. Already got Fend on him to keep the pylons and other follow-ups from happening.
I mean, I think in a lot of those games he's probably going to want to carry on the strength four just to make it harder to actually get the sack.
I wonder if our streams are already going to get off to a bad reputation. We have people saying they're inspired to play Death Roller Dwarves. But how do you feel about the no tackle on Noimzar Kazakh troll?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, so what he has to get piling on next, right? Probably. I think I would have took tackle before the pro.
I tackle
I don't know if I
definitely
like
would
the
have been my
dodge.
next.
I think I would have just skipped dodge and took tackle and then piling on.
Or do you think it would have been too much of a long-term commitment to take jump up instead of the dodge?
No, because then I think if you take the jump up instead of the dodge, like I don't hate it. I don't think it's the best choice, but then next skill you definitely for 100% go piling.
Yeah. It's a weird little build this guy has, and he still has a lot of development to go. Only 45 SPP.
So
But
what does he have? Two more skills? Three more skills?
3 more to go. Yeah.
Yeah, so piling on tackle, and then I mean, barring any more doubles, maybe he has Dauntless already.
Baked in.
Yeah, I don't know what you would get at Legend if since you already have Dauntless.
Stand firm might be an option.
This time, oh, Juggernaut.
There you go.
Juggernaut's a skill you would definitely.
But yeah, good couple strength fours, a lot of guard. I can't imagine he loses the blocking game too often.
Yeah, Lumi. I assume the pro is for greed rerolls, but like at that point, I think I would rather have the piling on first, and then get greedy with your rerolls.
Oh, also, did you notice how he's trying to cover in part for some of the TV of the Death Roller by dropping a reroll and picking up leader?
Yeah, I mean it only saves 30k, but I mean it is 30k saved.
Yeah. Hashtag I'm doing my part.
Dwarves are one of those dumb teams that can that have very cheap players and very cheap rerolls, so it's pretty easy to stay TV efficient.
Yeah, right?
Like one, two, three. So every player has block, literally, even his death roller, and he has he has 6 guard, 6 tackle, and
Oh.
he's only 17-20.
7 guard if we count the Death Roller, I
Oh yeah,
realize.
true. Yeah, I skipped the death roller for that.
So, yeah, that's kind of a nasty team, though no real guarantees, or not really playing much in the way of the odds to kind of maximize Kaz, but non-claw life, I suppose. But definitely as far as knocking people down, seems to be step 1 through 5 of the playbook here.
So far, the scariest team for this team is that chaos team. A lot of claw, a lot of guard, a lot of mighty blow.
Yeah, Volps, Mighty Blow alone can rip a team apart, or it could just stun a team. Or maybe get a couple KOs.
Especially a team with thick skull. Like that's a lot of stuns you usually end up with.
Thick. So yeah, fun stump force. What do we got next? Okay, one of I don't really have much in the way of qualifiers. It's Sace and Teched for Battle. I do have to first and foremost say I'm kind of a BattleTech nerd. It was a big part of my gaming while growing up, so I love that this team exists. Just at all.
On the opposite side of the spectrum, I have no idea what BattleTech is, except for random nerd talk that I've seen in our
That's fair. So, really, all he did was combine big stompy mechs with the iconic look of Tomb Guardians, and voila. So, this Khemri team is only 1 season old because our boy Sace here took second place in REL 10D with a record of 6-3-2. That's fucking amazing for a 1 season old Khemri team.
Yeah, he was actually in my div. That's where my pros come from.
Very nice. And Sace did make it to the play-ins as well, but I can't remember if it was around 2?
I think this was also
Okay.
a round 1 loss.
Oh. Mm.
But I'm sure he will be quick to confirm. He is quoted.
Round
he
2.
lost in round 2. He
Okay, good day, Nick. Nice.
quoted as saying multiple times that he never actually wanted to make play-ins. So I'm interested to see how well he does now that he probably does want to make one of the playoffs. You know, if he wasn't trying last time, let's see what he can do when he is trying.
Yeah, so let's see what he's got to try with. I mean, his Tomb Guardians are shaping up really well, especially for just a single season and some off-season games.
Yeah, he has one that's his only unskilled Tomb Guardian is only one SPP from leveling.
Mm-hmm.
The rest all have 2 skills.
His Blitz Raws are pretty much feature complete. They do exactly what he needs them to. We got some nice throw raws coming up. No, schedule's not up yet because they're not gonna roll or start the divs until tomorrow and do them all at once.
I would expect them like midday-ish REL time tomorrow. I think it might depend on how many slots they have to fill in with like filler teams and how many admins are around to do it. But
Yeah,
it'll be sometime tomorrow for sure.
we'll get there, but not yet.
Yeah, believe me, I wish it was out too.
I like that Sace focused on long-term survival early on with Jenner, getting that fend skill.
Yeah, I mean, Thoraz don't really have much to get besides like kickoff return. So Fend is pretty good.
Jenner's getting cycled. Really? Oh, once they level though, right? You're gonna keep them until then? Or are you gonna start building a new one now?
I think he starts focusing on the second one and then sees if Jenner rolls at. Because I think if you can get the 6 SPP and get Agi out of it, then he's definitely worth keeping.
That's fair. But yeah,
I mean, at least he didn't make the mistake I did with my Khemri team, where I made one into a sacker, and of course the sacker is the one that rolled Agi.
Sorry, couldn't help it. Okay, so throw raws are going to be going through a little bit of a regrowing period, or at least Jenner is. And we've got some nice lean skeletons to round this all out, with 2 of them enjoying a good stomp to the groin. Oh wait, that's giving. Never mind. Wolverine and Bushwhacker. I like that on the Wolverine Sace, just because that's a good light mech hunter. Good brawler. But, right.
Yeah, I like the deep bench. You know, you are AV7, so you do tend to go down. And
And the
Kemri
fouling.
is the pinnacle of a control team in my opinion. And once you start losing your players, it's pretty hard to control the pitch.
Mm. Yeah, he's built up pretty well so far all across everything. The only complaint I can possibly find is just only two guard across the team. Now, granted, he does have the four Tomb Guardians, but they do project their presence a lot more once they get that guard on there.
Yeah, it's a tough one because you only have what 6 pieces with natural guard access. I mean, the Mighty Blow first is a little greedy, but if you don't take it first, then it's a long time before you get to Mighty Blow.
Yeah, though every 3-die POW with Mighty Blow has to feel good.
Just out of curiosity, says does Awesome get guard, or do you keep with your Mighty Blow first?
It does kind of look like he has a an archetype in mind.
Yeah, but I mean, like this late into development, like for season 1, sure, like Mighty Blow first is great, but like he's gonna need the guard, and I don't know if he's willing to wait for you know, Kodiak to get 10 more SPP to get another guard piece.
Yeah, he kind of agrees with you. Yeah, and
maybe he'll get lucky in
greed
one of these
paid
semis.
dividends.
Yeah, I mean, he did well. He did well.
Yeah.
His one weakness. Here's a pro tip for everyone in the division: roll fives, 5+s. He can't stop him. That's how I beat.
So, desperate elf dice?
Always.
Always. Oh, good. Phelps can roll fives. Season solved. Everyone can go home now. And Sace rounding out agility 2 with the weather dome, because that's always important.
Yeah, I think that's like the only stadium I would consider on Camry, because if it ever rains, you are fucked.
Yeah. So kudos to that. I like that pick. Had that on my old lizard team too. All right, and it's it. We're down to our last team to look at. And that's going to be Jaspersaurus Rex, your king, by the way. That was a dinosaur joke. With a REBBL Yell. These guys were in Div 6 last season, and they took middle of the pack, 6th place, or slightly above the middle, with a record of 5-5-3. They're 2 seasons old, and like many others here, they're a big fan of the sandwich kiosk because nobody likes rocks.
So the team looks pretty good. You have
Oh, I see what he did here. Were both of those? Okay, Morty was on here when I was doing my recon. Okay, you got both of these off the market, right, Jasper? Because I know Morty was from what is it, the C137, Dimension C137 from a season or two ago.
he bought both of these mummies.
I think that, yep, he bought both of those off the market. And he has 4 more, or he has a total of 4 retired and dead mummies in his previous players tab. So, for 2 seasons old, you're sure rough on your toys.
Hopefully, the block one can actually survive. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beauty. And I feel like that plus strength mummy comes into a conversation some other streamer was having recently about is it worth it for big guys to get plus strength? Oh wait,
If
take it back.
mummies weren't movement 3, I would I had a plus strength ogre, and plus strength and break tackle means he has a 3+ cage dive. But with movement 3, I don't think anyone's letting this thing near their cage if they can help it.
So 3 plus shuffle?
Yeah. But if you can ever get him near a cage, he is definitely a threat. And with strength 6, he is getting a 2 dice even with guard corners on most cages.
Yeah, it does kind of look like the way this team is built out is run the cage into the mummy and then see if the mummy can grind down the front and work his way in.
Yeah, well, you said he just picked these up from the market, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to, put his new toys to good use.
That's true. Or just, Nuffle's Law, all the shinies get broken on their first game out. Isn't that right, Spicosaurus?
Yeah.
I once bought a lizard, his namesake, Saurus off the market, he was Blodge Guard too, wasn't he?
He was indeed. I think he was a blodge guard tackle, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe just blodge guard.
No, just Blodge Guard. He didn't even survive 4 turns after I bought him. But enough about them. Let's talk about the undead. So we've got a goal with
Yeah.
catch. We're playing the ball.
I mean, I like it. He's picking up with the IG4 one, but the catch goal lets him play the field longer. Like he can keep that goal a little further ahead, and if he needs to, make a handoff and a sprint for the end zone.
And then for defense, he's got the Blodge Guard to rely on. Or at least to help things out. We've got so we had a development. We had the killer path with Sammy Hagar here, and then I assume it was the rampant mummy death that caused him as well as Billy Idol to pick up guard pretty soon thereafter, or pick up guard along that early.
Yeah, I assume so. Undead is another one of those teams where you're very limited on guard. Like you only get 4 natural guard pieces, and one of them you want to be a killer. So so you really have 3 pieces that you're like planning to get a guard on. So without doubles, it can be pretty tough to get all the guard you want.
Yeah, and people pointing out just the one tackle on the team right now with Cliff Burton, the Rackle Ghoul, or the Dodge Rackle Ghoul.
That might come to bite him if he doesn't pick up some more guard tackle, which he doesn't really have anyone close to leveling.
Yeah, and Ghoul's concept of object permanence isn't great.
His closest piece to leveling is a mummy, and he's got to get lucky for that one to get tackle. And even if it does get tackle, I don't know how useful the movement 3 tackle piece will be.
Hi, holes. Welcome to the Mummy Show. Fun fact, he bought both of those off the market because he keeps breaking his own. But, no, like 27 out of 31, I think that's a pretty good price for Pinkie Pie. So, he's got a lot of potential. The rest of the team is just a little behind the time, or just a little playing catch up as far as development goes. I think Billy Idol needs some tender love and prima donnaing to get him some tackle.
Yeah, last season apparently he lost a Agi4 tackle Mighty Blow White, so that's one of his tackle that he used to have.
And a Strength 4 zombie.
Speaking of zombies, as was mentioned in chat earlier, his zombies do have a lot of TV right now. Like you just want him to get hit, and he's 2, 4, 6. 60k and just block on zombies. Is it really necessary?
He does still have a bench of 2. Bench of 1 with it's all said and done.
Yeah,
I do.
With he has 2 dirty players, but with only a bench of 1, like 2 dirty players is kind of a lot in my opinion.
Well, he does still have 40 left to surprise us and buy a rookie.
Yeah, I think I would actually like that. It gives you a 2-man bench. You can keep one dirty player off the field.
Or even keep one of the ghouls off on a defensive drive if you need to.
Oh, that's a tough one because you probably want the Agi Ghoul to recover any balls you knock free, and you want the guard Ghoul because it's one of your only guards.
Yeah, it's a interesting place to be in. So we're both
Yeah, for sure.
tall and deep. 1650. Yeah, gonna be interesting to see if the zombies pay for themselves. I'm looking forward to this season. This isn't even my div, in that sense. That is rad. Do you have any club on you? Yeah, you've also got the squig. Cool. So I think that rounds out the available teams that we've got here.
I backed out too far. I'm not in the div.
But you're still in life, so you didn't hit escape too many times.
So, like a good recapper, you took the time to to make some predictions for the div.
I did make a few. These are just these aren't specifics. I've got some teams that I expect to finish high in the leaderboards, and then I've got all the mid-range teams. Then I have a couple teams that I'm predicting are going to finish a little bit lower towards the bottom of the leaderboard this season. Um, so let's start there. The three that I have a little less confidence in are going to be Burke's Cold Blooded, the Lizardman team, the one that is a little half baked, still needs some more time in the oven,
Yeah, I can
and
agree.
get some of those Sauruses leveled. I also see Scambammer maybe dancing around towards the low part of this division as well, especially with a lot of the competition that we've got. But I would be pleasantly surprised if that were otherwise. I do know never to take flings seriously. Or, wow, that came out a little weird. I do know never to take flings lightly. There we go. Shut up, Freud. The last one that I think might have a bit of a rough season is going to be Salty Chips, the Dark Elf team coached by Engre. They're they got a nice, nice development going. Just need a little bit more, I think, to really keep up with all the competition that they're surrounded with.
I
So
mean,
he's gonna have a hard. It's not gonna be an easy season, no matter what. And if he can pull off a couple of good Ws, and beyond, they'll be well earned.
if we've learned anything from the higher REL divs, is you only really need a solid core, and he has a solid core. So I could see him doing a little better than expected.
Yeah, but we'll see just how right or wrong I really am. Scattered throughout the middle of the standings, I'm looking at, well, honestly, most of you. Tech for Battle, Saces Kemri, Boss Hog Outlaws. You know what? This is just gonna. We've already gone way longer than we thought we would anyway. So here, I'm just gonna move up to the top four, who I expect three of which to get the playoff and other associated tickets and Challenger Cup tickets. There we go. And the fourth one gets to play Sace and clap and exercise compersion. So the top four out of the lot of you, I'm predicting are going to be some variation or some order of Forsaken Awoken, Moneybags Necro Team, Lumi's Gourmet Governors. I'm expecting Callisti to put in a good show this season and head towards the top somewhere. And then lastly, Nightmare on Elf Street, Sunhawk's Dark Elf Team.
Yeah,
Who,
I can
go ahead, sorry.
I can see those teams doing well. I think Lumi is a wild card. Like we obviously know he's a great coach, but he is playing vampires, so there's a good chance that a game or two can easily be decided by some very shitty bloodlust rolls.
That's true. Though the good part about Lumi in general is his coaching consistency. And if he can roll with those punches, hopefully 2 games won't mean as much in the long run. But that's fair. Who are you kind of feeling to be your heroes of this division?
Uh, honestly, I think Callisti is gonna be up there. Like, his team is amazing in my opinion. Like, his rats are really well developed. Like I said, it's definitely survival of the fittest, and his team is pretty. Uh, and the fact that he was Div 2, now he's the Div 3 tier, which is a bit of a relegation for him. You know, hopefully it sparks a fire, and he shows that he deserved to be in Div 2, and he does some work this season.
He's got to find that motivational speech in the locker room to really get these rats motivated.
Maybe if he played a little faster, his rats wouldn't fall asleep.
I heard that one land below the belt.
Besides that, I think Sace will actually do pretty well. Like, his team is pretty solid, and having played him and knowing his long-standing history, he's a pretty solid coach. He's got the fundamentals down pat, so as long as he doesn't lose to more LPS, I think he's I think he has a shot at the top 3 for one of those tickets.
Yeah, provided he can prevent himself from being outscored, which I guess I just summarized, so long as he could not lose. No, but seriously, I mean, a fast pace isn't exactly going to be his game ever. And there's some speedy teams in here. Granted, most of the Agi teams, with the exception of the Skaven, are still more towards the movement 6 end of the spectrum anyway. Um, and I guess with small notable exception of the Lizardman teams too. So Callisti might be a rough game for him, depending on how some of the injuries go. But against the others, so long as he can keep throwing up a solid defense, yeah, I'd say there's definitely a realm where you're right.
But I don't really know who to put for a third if you don't want to count Lumi as the like wild card. I like the dwarf team. I mean, honestly, I wish as much as I love the Death Roller, if he just can't his team would be so much more efficient, and he'd be actually getting some inducements against a lot of these teams.
And drop down to 10. Maybe
Yeah,
buy a Longbeard.
it puts him at 5'10". I think that makes him the second lowest. Yeah, the second lowest TV team in Div besides the Halflings.
And he's only giving up strength 7 to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really good death roll.
It's a fun one.
I mean, it has block. Oh wait, you know what? He's actually, that TV's off. He wouldn't be 15-10 because I don't think it's not counting the MNG Longbeard, which is another 110. So he's 18-30 right now. So he'd be 16-20.
Yeah, that's still pretty trim. Below everyone except Angry? Oh, and maybe Cold-Blooded. Burke's Lizards. True, it would bring him in line with the low end of the TV spectrum. I'm not quite sure from personal experience what not bloaty is like anymore.
Yeah, the downfall of elves, you tend to get up there.
Yeah. So in case you can't tell, I think we're kind of scraping for content, which gives you an opportunity to help. We're gonna try and see if we can throw in little highlight reels here and there. I can't guarantee it's something that'll happen weekly. We might do periodic, like a weekend release with just some footage. But if you guys run into any good plays or meme-tastic plays or really bad plays um, that are good for a watch, either shoot us a clip or let us know the game and the turn number, and we'll go take a look at it, see if we can capture some footage. Because we would love to share this out with everybody. It's nothing anyone loves more than a good old compilation.
No, yeah, 'cause, yeah, I agree. The Chaos definitely have a great shot. I think with the team. I personally don't know much about the coach, but the team is really solid. So I could see it doing well.
Yeah. So long as they can prove they're good at more than just one thing, they'll have a good time. Jasper Sore's
Yeah,
trying to put Team America soundtrack in my head with phrases like that.
overall, I think this division has a lot of good coaches and great looking teams, and it should be a pretty fun one for everyone involved. And I'm excited to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. We really appreciate it. Thanks for giving us a good start to the season with this. Hopefully, we can keep the good times a rolling. We're going to be aiming to record on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, just depending on how the schedules fall any given week. So that does mean there might be some nights when the div isn't rolled yet, when we're going to be casting, but, woe is recapper problems.
Yeah, at least once the div started, we can see upcoming weeks. Yeah.
Oh, and thanks, Volpez, but streaming is not any monetary part of my life. Um, but smash that fucking follow button, as the man says. Cool. Well, I've been 130. He's been Spicosaurus. Thank you very much for
Thanks for
watching.
coming by.